It's the moment you've all been waiting for, or maybe you haven't. Either way, you're here and you're gonna watch it. We have 36 GT cars competing on the Big O, folks, and you will know the winner at the end of this video. 6 car groups in round 1, only 2 cars move on from each group. In that first spot, we have Dusty Miles from Milestone Diecast, and second, we have Owlman from HSL Motorsports in the number 38. In the third spot, we have Feral Patrick from Feral Mods, qualifying in the 13th position and ending up in group number 1. Then we have the Crazy Canuck from White Knuckle Motoring Speedway out of Canada. He qualified in the 24th spot. And then we have Asher Orion from Stupid Fish Racing, the 25th place qualifier here in group number 1. And last but not least, we have Sarge from Old Sarge Racing, and he qualified in 36th, just making it into this bracket. Dusty Miles, our top qualifier, heading into group number 1. We expect him to be the top runner in this pack, followed by Owlman, and then Feral Patrick. But folks, anything can happen in the Big O. And yes, ignore that extension cord that was dangling into the frame. I caught it after a couple races. They're out of there for race number 1. Asher Orion blocking Owlman, and it's the Crazy Canuck spinning around. Let's watch that again in slow motion. Owlman gets hit by the Crazy Canuck, and both of them are in reverse. Asher Orion spins out of nowhere. It's Dusty Miles and Feral Patrick way out in front, getting first and second place here in race number 1, kicking off the GT tournament at the Big O. Folks, the scoring for this system, for this race, for this thingamajinger we got going on here is 6 points for first, 5 points for second, and you can probably figure out the rest. If you can't, that's okay. Just keep watching Diecast Racing. Feral Patrick cuts off Dusty Miles just a little bit there. Dusty Miles is still pushing hard against Feral Patrick, but Asher Orion in that C8 Corvette is right behind and takes 3rd place. Holy cannoli, folks, that is some high speed, high banked, crazy action out here on the Big O circuit, the Big O track, the Big O Speedway. Oh, the Big O, oh. Asher Orion now in that pole position. It's Sarge right behind him, followed by the Crazy Canuck. The Crazy Canuck is in the back of the pack, and he needs to put some points on the board. Feral Patrick cuts to the inside, makes an epic pass on Sarge, then cuts back in front of him. Look at that, let's watch that pass again. Gets a slight bump there by Crazy Canuck in the back, but still, Sarge gets passed by Feral Patrick. Then Sarge tries to take the inside on Feral Patrick again, but Feral Patrick is blocking him. And then Asher Orion slows down. And holy cannoli, I'm pretty sure all 6 of those cars were connected bumper to bumper as they crossed the finish line. It's Feral Patrick leading the leaderboard in this group. 3 races in. They rotate 1 position clockwise. It's Sarge out there in the pole position. Asher Orion, who is in the 2nd place position in points right now, is in that far lane. He falls back and allows Sarge and Crazy Canuck to get out in front. Then Asher Orion spins around backwards. Is he gonna cause a little bit of ruckus? Oh no, it's Sarge causing a ruckus. And they're all piled up behind Sarge. Crazy Canuck pushing, trying to get through. Dusty Miles in the back just trying to put some points on the board after his 1st place qualifying, but he does not. He gets 1 more point, and folks, that's not what you want to see from the 1st place qualifier here. If he doesn't move on into the next round, there's something wrong. Or he just didn't do well. It's Crazy Canuck out in front. Owlman spins around to try to block Dusty Miles, and there's a cluster F in the back of the pack. And then Dusty Miles makes a run for Owlman, pushing him just down the track a little bit. Then he tries to take the inside again. Dusty Miles, clearly the faster car, but he cannot get around Owlman, who's driving in reverse and is all over the track. The last race we go, Asher Orion out front with 20 points, Feral Patrick with 19, and our 1st place qualifier, Dusty Miles, with 17. However, Dusty Miles is in a good spot right here, right behind Owlman in the 2nd place, 2nd spot. Not pole, but 2nd spot is pretty good. Owlman takes the inside. Owlman takes the outside. Dusty Miles takes the inside. Can he get by? It's Feral Patrick drafting behind them. Dusty Miles is out in front. Owlman, then Feral Patrick. Can Feral Patrick get by and get some points? He's pushing on Owlman. And then Crazy Canuck spinning around. Holy cannoli as they cross the finish line. Who is going to move on? It's Dusty Miles with 23 and Feral Patrick with 23 points. Holy cannoli. What an amazing action here in group number 1, folks. And we're just getting started. Let's go ahead and meet group number 2. All right, first up in group number 2, we have Xavier from Diecast. Diecast? What's a Diecast? Diecast Show Customs, and he was the 2nd place qualifier. And then we have Mark D from Cut Rocker Racing, driving that beautiful C8 Corvette number 59. Then we have Abby Normal from Abnormal Racing in another C8 Vet number 101. And then it's Speedball Herman from the Gravity Throttle Racing, rocking his beautiful signature livery in the number 38 across the side of that car. And then a not so beautiful car, Bobby, in the number 30 that he hand wrote on the car. And then someone who didn't customize their paint job at all, it's Savvy and Liv in the one and only Mercedes-Benz AMG that is in this tournament. That casting was not a favorite here in this tournament. I'm not sure if that's for a reason or not. In our testing, it did just as good as any of these other cars, but I think people might have been afraid of the low front lip. Race number 1, and they're out of there. Xavier showing that he is the second place qualifier and qualified faster than any one of these other cars. Mark D pushing on Abby Normal there. And then we have a little bit of a train going between Abby Normal, Mark D, and Bobby Boucher. I don't know. I got nothing. It's just Bobby. Abby Normal moves into the first place pole position, but Xavier's on the outside, and Xavier is showing his speed. Mark D right behind him with the outside lane, be able to get in front of the inside lane. Xavier does it, and then Mark D is pushing on Abby Normal again, but is unable to get by in the turn. It's Bobby right there, then Savvy and Liv, and Speedball Herman bring up the back of the pack. Abby Normal putting pressure on Xavier in reverse. Xavier spins back around. Here comes Mark D, putting his bumper right against Abby Normal's bumper, but taking third place, unable to get by. We head into race number 3. We rotate one position clockwise. Bobby moves into the first place pole position, but the outside cars are moving fast. Abby Normal leading the pack on the outside, getting pushed by Xavier, the second place qualifier. Xavier takes the outside right away, is unable to get by Abby Normal, almost 3 wide in that turn. Xavier spins around a little bit, was able to control it. Abby Normal out in front. It looks like Abby Normal in clean air is running away from this one. Xavier in second, Bobby, Mark D, Savvy and Liv, and then Speedball Herman coming in across the finish line in that 6th place position. All right, they rotate again, and it's Savvy and Liv out in the pole position, followed by Speedball Herman and Mark D in the inside lane. Bobby, Abby Normal, and Xavier on the outside lane. Bumper to bumper action. Speedball Herman tries to take the outside, causes Mark D to spin around. Mark D's in reverse. Bobby pushing Abby Normal against the outside. Xavier just fighting to try to get by. Savvy and Liv spinning Speedball Herman around, and Mark D in reverse is able to push his way through and take the second place position from Speedball Herman. Here comes Bobby in reverse, almost trying to get after Speedball Herman, is unable to close the gap across the finish line. We have a tie for 18 points between Xavier and Abby Normal, followed by Mark D right behind him. It's still anybody's race here in group number 2 of the NASCAR Generations. That was last tournament. The GT tournament here at the Big O. It's Speedball Herman's time. He's out in front in the pole position. He's got clean air. Nobody in front of him to mess with his mojo. He's out of there. It's Mark D in reverse. Xavier sliding sideways, and Savvy and Liv in the back, blocking Abby Normal and Bobby. And out of nowhere, we don't even see him in the frame, Speedball Herman. Where did this speed come from? He was like a ball of speed that he had bundled up inside that car, and as soon as he got in that pole position, he was like, bam, I'm out of there. Look at me go. Speedball Herman slides over into the front right position, and Mark D moves over into the pole position, followed by Xavier there behind him. Mark D and Xavier are pulling away here just a little bit. Xavier immediately tries to take the inside of Mark D and passes successfully, showing his superior speed and agility here on the Big O. Abby Normal trying to track down Mark D to get some extra points on the board. Mark D slides sideways just a little bit. Abby Normal coming in hot, is unable to pass. Only loses by about a half a car, 3/4 of a car, maybe a car. I don't know. They're going so fast, it was blurry. Xavier with 28 moves on. Mark D moves on with 26. And thank you everybody else that was in that group that didn't make it to the next round. Who knows? Maybe we'll have some sort of fun tournament with all the cars that didn't make it to round 2, so they get a little more screen time here at the Big O and Tiny Track Cars. All right, it's Lando driving for Arlo Racing in another C8 Corvette. That thing is low and mean. And then we have the mean Big Cat. Speaking of mean, Big Cat from EP Videos in that beautifully wrapped Lamborghini Huracan. And then we have Grumpy Cloud, Napoleon from Grumpy Cloud, out of Seattle, Washington. And then we have dubious diecast, and that's Mr. Dark himself, driving the Aston Martin. And then another Lamborghini, we have Automatic from Kitterman's Speed Shop. And then in the last position of this group, we have Bay City Daryl from Bay City Diecast Racing, driving a BMW M2, M3 GT2, M4 GT2, M123 GT3 GT LMNOP. We have two Lamborghinis, a Corvette, a Cadillac, a BMW, and an Aston Martin in this group. Who is going to take it? Out front, we have Lando, who is qualified in the third position. We'd expect him to be the leader of this pack. Leader of the pack. That was definitely called for. Grumpy Cloud in reverse. Big Cat in reverse. Sorry, that is Napoleon, not Grumpy Cloud. He's trying to get spun back around. But Mr. Dark takes the inside on Big Cat, trying to take the pass on Napoleon as well. Can he get by Napoleon? Pushing him up into the curb. He goes. Here comes Mr. Dark and Napoleon. Napoleon is able to stay out in front and take second place here in race number 1 of group number 3 of the NASCAR Generations. Gosh, I keep saying NASCAR Generations. It's the GT tournament. Of course it is. These cars are not NASCARs. I've never seen a Lamborghini NASCAR. If Lamborghini enters NASCAR, I'd probably watch NASCAR more. Napoleon out front in the pole position, but Lando from Arlo Racing gets out front from the outside. Whoa! Big Cat sliding sideways, but is able to control it. Whoa! Big Cat almost up over the curb, getting pushed by Mr. Dark, sliding by Napoleon. Does successfully make the pass on Napoleon. Down across the finish line in second place goes Big Cat after a crazy daisy move. Holy cannoli, Big Cat had his rear end, I think he just has too much horsepower in that Lamborghini Huracan. His rear end was getting loose around those turns, but he was able to put the power to the ground and make a pass on Napoleon and take second place in that group, in that race. All right, it's Automatic in his manual transmission Huracan. Actually, it's probably some sort of sequential automatic gearbox thingy, right? He's blocking Arlo on the outside. Bay City Daryl trying to take the inside. Mr. Dark on the outside, passing Bay City Daryl. Mr. Dark pushing on Lando, and I don't even know who crossed the finish line first. That was a big old pileup. We head into race number 4 of this Group 3 of round number 1, and it's Bay City Daryl in the BMW moving to pole position. Mr. Dark right behind him, and the Big Cat. I can hardly see that car because it's camo. Taking the inside, Big Cat passes Mr. Dark. Watch Mr. Dark, he falls back from second place to third place to fourth place. Napoleon pushes on Automatic. Napoleon is about ready to get by Mr. Dark too. Mr. Dark falling back in another position. Now he gets in front of Napoleon. Mr. Dark trying to take the inside. Can he get by Big Cat? Big Cat in reverse. Bay City Daryl and Automatic on the outside. Big Cat in reverse. Holy cannoli. We don't even know who crossed the finish line first, but we did slow it down in post-production, and we confirmed the places you saw are the places you saw. You know what I'm saying? We confirmed that who crossed the finish line first from both cameras, the finish line camera and the chase cam. Mr. Dark out front in his turn in the pole position, followed by Big Cat, and Lando spinning around backwards. Mr. Dark out front, clean air, and no one to chase him down. That is Mr. Dark's time to shine. He qualified in the 22nd position, and you could not even tell because he was putting on some speed shows out there for you today. It's Lando out front with 22 points and a tie for second between Big Cat and Mr. Dark. And into the next race we go. It's Big Cat in his chance in the pole position. Lando right behind him, and Napoleon is able to pull by the outside 3. It's Big Cat out in front, rear end squirrely. Arlo's got the dirty air, but Arlo takes the inside, gets him clean air, goes high in the berm. Big Cat spins around just a little bit. Lando takes the advantage. Did I say Arlo again? Arlo Racing. Number 69, Lando driving that beautiful Corvette and passing Big Cat and taking 6 more points in this race. And then there's Bay City Daryl crossing the finish line. It's Lando moving on with 28 points in the Big Cat from EP Videos with 24 points. Also moving on in this round. Dusty Miles, Farrell Patrick, Xavier, Mark D, Lando, and Big Cat wrap up the cars moving on to the next round in the left-hand side of the bracket. On the right-hand side, we have Craigser Sr., who qualified 4th place, and then Lone Star from Live Young Diecast. 9th place qualifier in the 2nd spot there in group number 4. And then Brokas, Why would you? Broke-ass can be. Broke-ass can be. Oh, come on. Dang it. And then we have Warren Clutch in that BMW. Beautiful paint job into that. And then we have Raging Ricky from Oregon Outcast. And last in this group, we have Spam Folder from Salvage Title. Diecast Racing.com, .org, .net, .organization, .biz. All right, they're out of there for race number 1. It's Craigster Sr. in the inside front position. Lone Star on the outside. Broke-ass can be. Come on. I can't say broke-ass over and over again in this race. Brocus. I'm going to call him Brocus. Brocus can be. Following Craigster Sr. Craigster Sr. is sliding into that last turn, able to control it and down across the finish line. And then a battle between Lone Star and Warren Clutch. Who takes the win on that one? We'll see who has more points. It's Lone Star inching out Warren Clutch at the finish line. Congratulations, Lone Star. You get 1 extra point for doing that cool little move you did there. Congratulations. Brocus can be in that pole position. Raging Ricky right behind him with that raccoon right in the front of the car. He thought it was a good idea to just move to the outside to let Spam Folder and Craigster Sr. slide on by. That's not the way you win races, folks. The outside line might be faster, but you gotta actually put your foot on the gas. Spam Folder is moving up quickly, but it's Brocus can be across the finish line first for 6 points here in race number 2. Leading the pack, it's Brocas. It's not gonna get easier. It's Broke-ass. I know what you meant. It wasn't broke-ass. It was broke as can be. But I can't not say broke-ass. I don't know why. Spam Folder sliding around sideways. Raging Ricky with the pass is able to get by. Spam Folder is putting on the heat in reverse. And Spam Folder is able to hold on to the first place position despite being in reverse. And Raging Ricky pushing hard, followed by Warren Clutch, Broke as can be, Craigster Sr., and the Lone Star coming in last place across the finish line, putting 1 point on the board. As you know, they rotate 1 position clockwise, and they're out of there again. It's Spam Folder in the pole position, followed by Warren Clutch and Lone Star, bringing up the back of the left-hand lane, inside lane there. Raging Ricky trying to get by on the outside, gets by Lone Star. Lone Star looks like he's spun out. Now Warren Clutch is after Spam Folder. Spam Folder takes the slide on the inside. Warren Clutch is in reverse. Here comes Raging Ricky on the outside. Raging Ricky gets by Warren Clutch at the finish line. What a pass. That's what you like to see. And I'm not sure what happened to Broke as can be and Mr. Craigster Sr. back there, but they weren't looking so hot. Into race number 5 of 6. Warren Clutch out front, Lone Star right behind him, Craigster Sr., which is our top qualifier in this group, pulling up the 3rd place position on the left-hand lane. Spam Folder on the outside, Spam Folder inching out, Craigster Sr. It's Lone Star spinning out just slightly, Spam Folder hitting him, Craigster Sr. right behind. Raging Ricky pushing on all the pack, Craigster Sr. on the inside of Spam Folder was unable to get by as they crossed the finish line. 22 points for Spam Folder, Warren Clutch, and Broke as can be tied for 17. And unfortunately, Craigster Sr. is falling behind, but he is in the 2nd place position right behind Lone Star here in the inside lane. Let's see what he can do in this last and final race. Lone Star leading the pack. This is his first time he's been out front. Clean air. Getting the slight push by Craigster Sr. Lone Star's looking steady out there, looking smooth in the Aston Martin. Craigster Sr. getting a little sideways. Straight as an arrow. Lone Star crosses the finish line for 6 points. And holy cannoli, look at that scoreboard. Spam Folder moves on with 21. We have a tie for 2nd place and then a tie with everybody else for 20 points. But this is the tiebreaker. And because Craigster Sr. got the better qualifying time in qualifying, because that's where you get your qualifying times, he takes the inside lane for race number 1. This is a best-of-3 scenario, and anything can happen. It's Craigster Sr. in the Cadillac out front early. Broke as can be behind him. Anything can happen. One mistake, one of these cars can spin out and lose the lead, and then they don't move on. If they get past, you probably don't move on. Craigster Sr. up 1 race to none. They switch lanes. Broke as can be in the inside. Craigster Sr. on the outside. Broke as can be is showing that he's quicker in this one. Pulls ahead of Craigster Sr. Craigster Sr. seems to maybe be closing the gap just a little bit. Closing the gap even more. Can he get by? He bumps Broke as can be and pushes him faster down the track. Brocus can be high in that bank, crosses the finish line. Now the score is tied up 1-1, and we go into a third race of this tiebreaker round. Who's going to join Spam Folder and move on to the next round? Is it going to be Craigster Sr. or is it going to be Brocus can be in the Aston Martin? Craigster Sr. Oh no, Craigster Sr. This is not looking good for Craigster Sr. Brocus can pass on the outside. He's vulnerable. He's coming in hot. Taps the front bumper of Craigster Sr. Craigster Sr. spins around and Brocus can be spins out. Holy cannoli. That looked like an oil slick out there. Brocus can be now in reverse. It might be over for him. Craigster Sr. looking good out there, keeping it straight. Down into the last turn he goes and across the finish line. Craigster Sr. takes the best of 3 and moves on to the next round with Mr. Spam Folder. We're gonna head straight into the next grouping, and boy, we got some heavy hitters in this group. Number 1 is James Ironbeard from Ironbeard Customs in the 5th qualifying position. Next up, with a fairly stock paint job, it's Sneaky Bob from Vapor Racing. He asked me, and I said it's fine. Just give him a hard time. Next up, we have Puff driving another McLaren. In 3rd place position, we have Lero, who qualified in the 20th position. In the 5th place spot in this group, we have Raw Sun God from Raw Sun God Racing driving a BMW. And last but not least, in this group, King Jester from King Jester Racing driving an Aston Martin. As you know, the top qualifier gets the pole position first. That's James Ironbeard in that beautiful Cadillac GT3 race car machine there in the beautiful green and the 00 trademarked by James Ironbeard. Just kidding. I don't think you can do that. Can you trademark a number? I am number 1. I trademarked it. James Ironbeard way out in front. It's Puff right behind him in that beautiful McLaren. I wish we would have saw more McLarens on here. I wish we would have saw more McLarens and more Lamborghinis. Whoa, those 3 were glued together for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th place, and King Jester bringing up the rear with 1 point in 6th place. They rotate 1 position clockwise. Puff gets his chance in the pole position, followed by Raw Sun God. There is James Ironbeard and Sneaky Bob on the outside. Raw Sun God tries to block because James Ironbeard is the faster car, tries to block on the outside. Now Puff spins around, James Ironbeard on the inside. Is he going to be able to get by Puff? Raw Sun God blocking Sneaky Bob and the rest of the pack. Lero trying to take the outside high. James Ironbeard spinning around. Raw Sun God taking the outside again, bumping into Puff. Down across the finish line in reverse. Puff takes 1st place. And there's King Jester in the back with 1 more point. Tied for 1st place, it's Puff and James Ironbeard going into race number 3. Still anyone's game here. 4 races to go. I can count, I promise. Raw Sun God in the pole position. Puff, James Ironbeard, and Sneaky Bob on the outside trying to get ahead of the inside pack. Puff almost gets by King Jester. King Jester almost gets by Raw Sun God. Raw Sun God breaks away. Lero takes the inside. Look at that move by that Lamborghini Huracan. Takes the inside and passes King Jester. What a move there by Lero. The agility of that Lamborghini is looking so good, but yet he spins around there in reverse. Raw Sun God walks away with this one because everybody in the back was just slipping and sliding and blocking and trying to get ahead of each other, and Raw Sun God was out in front, putting the pedal to the metal. Unless you have carpet floorboards, then you're putting the pedal to the carpet. But these race cars don't have carpet because weight reduction is key, and you gotta go fast. King Jester out front. Lero takes the outside. Lero gets pushed by Sneaky Bob. Lero pushing King Jester. Lero takes the outside. Beautiful pass by Lero in the Lamborghini again. Making moves out there by Lero. King Jester doesn't even know what happened there. Lero takes the inside line, goes up high in the berm, slides it sideways down across the finish line, and takes 6 points, folks. That is another amazing pass by Lero. That's 2 races in a row you've seen Lero in that red Lamborghini make some epic passes here on the other cars in this field. Now he moves up into the pole position. Can Lero take 6 more points? Sneaky Bob and James Ironbeard behind Lero. They say, nope, I'm not going to let you get away. Sneaky Bob right on Lero's tail, but Lero is looking good out there. He's looking smooth. No one's going to catch him. Sneaky Bob's close, but nobody else is even near them. James Ironbeard, King Jester. Surprisingly, King Jester is tracking with James Ironbeard, which is the top qualifier in this group. But King Jester has not performed well up until this point. Going into this last race, it's been the Lero show out there, and folks, the scoreboard shows it. But still, it's anyone's game for 2nd place position. We have many cars battling and lots of racing. Well, only one race to go. 2 laps. Here we go on the Big O. They're out of there. It's Sneaky Bob up front. James Ironbeard falling behind Sneaky Bob. James Ironbeard severely needs these points. Here comes Laro making the pass on James Ironbeard. Is James Ironbeard gonna be able to hold on to this point? He needs this point to stay up there on the leaderboard and potentially move on. It's James Ironbeard after Sneaky Bob, followed by Laro. And folks, Sneaky Bob with 25 points moves on, and Laro with 25 points moves on to the next round. Congratulations to you two, and thank you for the other 2 in this group that did not move on. All right, next group number 6, we have Mad Mike from Madman Racing. And then Johnny Smoke from SST Diecast Racing in the beautiful Aston Martin with no graphite off the side. That's sparkly paint. Then we have Julius from Cleveland Diecast Racing. And folks, I'm going to tell you, I'm rooting for Julius because I'm from Cleveland originally. I don't live there anymore, but I am from Cleveland. Julius is a new guy up in this circuit, and I wish him the best. And then we have J-Bo from Dog Squad Racing. And then driving an Aston Martin that was not approved, that casting was not approved for this event, is Stray Dog, folks. That is the Stray Dog. That is the ugly duckling. And we'll see how he does in that car that was not part of the 8 cars in this tournament. But we're going to let him race. He can't win, but we're going to let him race. And sorry, because of Stray Dog, we forgot to introduce Iron Man from Irons Diecast Racing back there in that Lamborghini Huracan. Mad Mike takes the outside. It's Julius that takes the inside in that C8 Corvette. Whoa, look at Stray Dog from the Kamikaze attack. He spins out, hits something in the track, and then ties up the rest of the pack. Is that guy going to become a problem on this track? It's probably because he picked the casting that was not designed for this GT tournament. We'll see how he does. It's Mad Mike taking 6 points, Julius taking second place, and 5 points. They rotate 1 position, Julius out front, Stray Dog right behind him, Mad Mike in the outside, Iron Man in the inside, in 3rd place position. Stray Dog takes the inside, trying to get by Julius. Julius is able to inch out. Mad Mike pushing Julius on the outside. Little contact between Julius and Stray Dog. Mad Mike's trying to make a move on Stray Dog. Stray Dog just straight up blocks Mad Mike. Mad Mike is able to get by and returns the favor and blocks Stray Dog and allows Julius to squeeze ahead even though he is in reverse. He goes down across the finish line in 1st place, followed by Mad Mike and Stray Dog in 3rd place. Man, that Aston Martin from Stray Dog is all over the place, folks. I'm not sure what got in his britches, but he is causing a ruckus out here on the Big O. He's out front early, putting some space between him and the rest of the pack, and then he spins out sideways, pulling a massive block maneuver, then spinning back around and taking off. Is he just out there showboating? Is he even here for the racing? Now we have a cluster F in the back between Iron Man, Mad Mike, Julius, and Johnny Smoke trying to get by Julius. Johnny Smoke makes a successful pass on Julius. Stray Dog, man, he takes 6 points. Despite all that, he started out in the pole position and was able to keep ahead, probably because he played a little dirty there. They rotate 1 position clockwise. Iron Man out front, followed by J-Bo in that beautifully designed, beautifully graphicked up C8 Corvette. On the outside, it's Stray Dog passing J-Bo. Stray Dog tries to take the inside, and then he pulls a block maneuver again. J-Bo is able to get by on the outside. Julius is able to get by on the outside. Can anyone get by Stray Dog? Can anybody else get by Stray Dog? That guy is just out there ping-ponging around. Bumper car action all over the place. He tries to block Johnny Smoke and Mad Mike across the finish line, and it's successful. He stays ahead of those 2 and puts 3 points on the board. Going into race number 5, we have a 3-way tie with 17 points, folks. It's going to be a nail-biter for who is going to move on. It's J-Bo in that C8 Corvette out front early. Johnny Smoke makes an epic pass on the inside. What a pass there. As soon as that track opened up, J-Bo tries to take the outside. Johnny Smoke shows his speed and takes the inside there, representing for SST Diecast Racing. But then spins around. Mad Mike on the outside. Oh no, J-Bo spins around and allows Mad Mike, Iron Man, and almost Stray Dog to pass. He's blocking in the sideway position there, trying to hold on to every position he can. But it's Johnny Smoke and Mad Mike out front, 1-2, taking the win. Into the last race we go. Mad Mike out front, and then we have some tie for 19 points. Who is going to move on, folks? Is it gonna be Johnny Smoke? Is it gonna be Julius? Is it gonna be Iron Man? Mad Mike could blow it still. He could fall all the way back and fall out of first place position. Johnny Smoke out front, slides his back end sideways, gets tapped by Johnny Smoke. Sorry, gets tapped by Mad Mike. Mad Mike trying to take the outside. Johnny Smoke spins around, but gets an assist by Julius. Mad Mike, look at this right here. Mad Mike was gonna pass on the outside, but Julius comes in and gives him a bump. Can Julius get by Mad Mike down across the finish line? No! Mad Mike takes second place and moves on with Julius. Wow, what a close one there. We had a 22 point, we had a 21 point, and a 20 point. Such a close group there as we go into round number 2. And we head back over to the left-hand side of the bracket. 2 cars moved on in round number 1, but 3 cars move on now in round number 2, leaving us with 6 cars for the final 6. It's Dusty Miles back out in front, Xavier right behind him, followed by Lando. Racing is going to get good here, folks. These are a bunch of super fast, mean cars right here in the semi-finals. Lando putting the pressure on Xavier there. It's Dusty Miles, Xavier, Lando, Farrell Patrick, and then Mark D, and then Big Cat. They rotate 1 position clockwise. And who's going to be out in front? It's Xavier, followed by Lando. Dusty Miles shifts to the outside. Big Cat in the inside lane in the back. He's got to be fast or else those cars on the outside are going to get in front of him. Dusty Miles slides into the second place position. Xavier is out front taking off. We don't see Xavier. We're focused on Lando. Following Dusty Miles. Bumps him a little bit, but Dusty Miles takes off high in the berm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Mark D coming through in 6th place. Boy, it is heating up out there. Dusty Miles and Xavier tied with 11 points. Lando switches to the pole position. And I'm sorry if I've said Arlo 47 times. I look at that car and my head says Arlo, but it's Lando in that car. I couldn't see that beautiful dog through those tinted, colorful windows. It's Lando out in front. Oh, Xavier tries to take the lead from him, but he spins around him backwards, but he's still able to hold on to second place. Oh gosh, in the back we see Big Cat spinning around, tied up with Dusty Miles. They get 3rd and 4th though. 5th and 6th goes to Mark D and Farrell Patrick. We have Dusty Miles, Xavier, and Lando pulling up the front 3. Again, 3 cars will move on. 3 cars will get eliminated here, and the 3 that move on will go to the finals. It's Big Cat in the pole position. Mark D pulls a dirty move on Lando there, but Mark D is able to get out and ahead. Now Lando takes the inside on Xavier, trying to make a move on Mark D. Big Cat is sideways. Mark D pushing through. Lando trying to take the outside. Lando gets by Mark D at the finish line. Whoa, folks, that is some action out there on the Big O. That's why we like these extra super duper wide track lanes built by Spool Heads Racing. Check them out at spoolheads.com. Use code TTC for 5% off. They're out there for the next race. Mark D in the pole position. Farrell Patrick right behind him. Then Dusty Miles pulls in the 3rd. Big Cat, Lando, and Xavier pulling up the rear. Dusty Miles spins out, puts a block on Big Cat. Let's check that out again. Dusty Miles from the right to the left, blocking Big Cat, allowing Mark D and Farrell Patrick to pull a lead and get some gap. And then Big Cat tries to make a move on the outside of Dusty Miles, unable to get by. And what a close call at the finish line there between Farrell Patrick and Dusty Miles, folks. It's Lando leading the pack with 21, Xavier and Dusty Miles close by, and then Big Cat right behind him. Still anybody's game. Who knows what's going to happen here on the Big O. Farrell Patrick is out front, Dusty Miles trailing those 2 Bentley Continental GT3s, looking good out there on the track. Xavier trying to push by Dusty Miles. Mark D on the outside of Xavier is unable to get by. Xavier spins around. Now it's Lando making a move on Mark D. Lando on the outside. Mark D closes the door. Now Xavier on the inside of Dusty Miles. Oh my gosh, not a car from the finish line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And moving on, we have Dusty Miles with 25 points, Xavier with 24 points, and Lando with 23 points. Farrell Patrick, Mark D, and Big Cat, I love you guys. Thanks for sending your cars in. We'll see you next time you're here. But for now, we head to the right-hand side of the bracket. We have Craigster Sr., Spam Folder, and then I'll tell you the other 4 right here once I see them. Spam Folder, Laro, Sneaky Bob, Mad Mike, and Julius out there on the track. It's Craigster Sr. out front early, followed by Sneaky Bob. Mad Mike takes the inside. Spam Folder now pushing on Sneaky Bob, but the real move there was Mad Mike's pass on the inside of Sneaky Bob. Sneaky Bob and Spam Folder battling it out back there. Sneaky Bob breaks away, tries to make a move on Big Mike, but is unable to across the finish line. Woo, folks, that is some crazy racing out there. Craigster Sr. with 6 points. He started in the pole position. He will head over to the right front lane, and Sneaky Bob from Vapor Racing will move into the pole position, followed by Mad Mike. Julius behind him. It's Craigster Sr.'s Spam Folder and Laro in the outside lane. Folks, Laro in round 1 made the most epic passes we've seen on this track, quite possibly. And will he do that same in round 2, or will these cars be too fast for him? We find out right now. Sneaky Bob takes 6 points. Laro comes in reverse into the rear, and that's not where you want to be, but there's still anyone's game. 10 points tied for first place between 3 amazing, beautiful die-cast builder people. Mad Mike moves to the pole position, followed by Julius and Laro. Are they going to be able to get into the outside? Laro cuts off Sneaky Bob and their other 3. Craigster Sr. takes the inside on Sneaky Bob. Laro trying to make a pass. Now there's a big pileup. Julius spinning around, causing a little bit of a chaotic cluster bomb right there in the middle of the track. Sneaky Bob trying to push his way through Laro. Craigster Sr. on the outside gets by Laro. Craigster Sr. on the outside gets by Julius. Will he be able to hold it out? Craigster Sr. passes Julius at the finish line, folks. Wow, that is some racing action out there on the Big O. We are rubbing fender to fender, tire to tire, and it is getting hot up in here. Let me tell you. Race number 4 is Julius in that C8 Corvette in the pole position. Laro right behind. Spam Folder pushing on the inside, that beautiful orange Aston Martin. On the outside, we have Mad Mike. Sneaky Bob. It's Laro that slides straight to the outside. Spam Folder is trying to take the inside. It's Julius in reverse. Who's going to push ahead? Mad Mike on the outside gets by Laro. Check it out right there. We see Laro getting sideways and then spinning around. Julius spinning around, bumping into Laro, allowing Mad Mike to sneak by on the outside, getting the assist by Craigster Sr., pushing him just a little bit. Now it's a slightly bit of a pile up there. Julius coming around, and we have, oh my gosh, I have no clue who even finished in what position. It looked like Julius and then Mad Mike, and that's what the scorekeepers say. In the race number 5, there's 2 races left to determine who will go to the finals. Again, 3 cars move on out of this group, and 3 cars go home packing. Laro breaks away from Spam Folder just a little bit. He takes the outside again. That seems to be a signature move, but it does not pay off for him this time. Craigster Sr. drafting behind Spam Folder. Spam Folder gets through by Laro. Will Craigster Sr. be able to make it? Spam Folder trying to take, it's Laro taking the inside on Spam Folder. A pass back, and then Craigster Sr. passes Spam Folder on the inside. Oh my gosh, Spam Folder just went from first back to 3rd place as Laro moves into 2nd with an epic move, cutting him off. Again, Craigster Sr. on the outside past Spam Folder. We saw it again. 1, 2, 3, there they go. 4, 5, and 6. There's a close call at the finish line, but it's Sneaky Bob inching out. Mad Mike at the finish line. 22 for Mad Mike, 22 for Craigster Sr., and it's really anyone's game to claim that 3rd and final spot. Spam Folder in the pole position. Laro to his right. Craigster Sr. and Sneaky Bob right behind Spam Folder on the inside. The inside lane takes the lead. Will Laro get the outside advantage? No, he does not slide into that 4th place position, 3rd place position, whatever the position he was going to slide into, he didn't do it. Bumping and grinding between Craigster Sr. and Spam Folder. Sneaky Bob trying to take the inside and spins out. Folks, it's bumper to bumper racing. Craigster Sr. out front, Spam Folder right behind him. Sneaky Bob, Laro, Julius, and Mad Mike bringing up the rear, folks. Craigster Sr. and Mad Mike move on, and we have a 3-way tie. So we are going to run a 3-race tiebreaker. These cars will rotate positions, and the point system is 3 points for first, 2 points for second, and 1 point for third. And if you don't finish, you get a DNF, it's 0. And we will see who can make a pass here in this overtake straight line challenge. It's Sneaky Bob out front, followed by Julius. These cars are about all the same speed. It's Spam Folder spins out and blows it in round 1, but that's okay. He was in the back. He didn't get passed by anybody. That is the main key. You have to do the passing here. You can't be the one that gets passed, or you're gonna lose out in points and you ain't gonna be moving on. Only one of these 3 cars moves on. Julius takes the outside, then back to the inside. Spam Folder drafting up Julius. Julius spins around. Spam Folder taking the outside. Is he able to get by? Sneaky Bob on the inside of Spam Folder. Now he's making a move on Julius. Sneaky Bob makes the move on the inside. We thought it was going to be Spam Folder going by on the outside, but Sneaky Bob is a sneaky son of a gun and takes the lead in the inside. By lead, I mean second place. Julius is still driving in reverse. Can Sneaky Bob get by him? No, it's Julius in first, Sneaky Bob in second. But that is exactly what Sneaky Bob needed. He needed to move up a position and gain 1 point on the other drivers. What's going to happen here in the third and final race of this tiebreaker? Sneaky Bob slides to the outside. Oh no, it's terrible for Sneaky Bob. Julius gets by Sneaky Bob. It's Spam Folder way out in front with nobody even near him. Julius coming in hot. Now Sneaky Bob is catching up. Sneaky Bob bumps into Julius. It looks like Spam Folder is going to cross the finish line first. Then Julius, and then Sneaky Bob in that final spot. And what was the score? Who moved on? It was Julius with the most points out of that 3-car tiebreaker battle. Into the finals we go, folks. It is getting hot in here. We have 6 extremely fast cars out there on the track. It's Dusty Miles, our first place qualifier, out in the pole position, followed by Lando. Dusty Miles slides to the outside. Xavier spins around backwards. Lando is on Dusty Miles' tail. But folks, here comes Xavier and Mad Mike. They are speedy out there, but Lando is too fast, and he is keeping up with Dusty Miles across the finish line. They go. And there's Julius that barely made it into round number 3, and we hope him the best, but these other 5 cars have proven to be faster than ever. Not the wheels. Trademark, not the wheels. Lando slides in the pole position. Dusty Miles on the outside. Look how fast Dusty Miles and Xavier are going. They slide into the 2nd and 4th place positions from the outside. That's pretty impressive. But it's Lando out front. Mad Mike tries to take the inside and almost spins out Lando. Let's watch that move again. Lando gets straightened out right here. Mad Mike tries to take the inside. Lando comes down, spins out. He's able to save it and correct it and straighten that thing out. It's Dusty Miles that spins out. Lando's trailing. Lando's out in front, followed by Mad Mike. And our finish line cam there, folks, decided it didn't want to record. So we had to follow the chase cam in at the finish line and record the scores accordingly. Sorry for that. Technical difficulties. All right, we have Mad Mike on the inside now, followed by Julius and Craigster Sr. Where's Craigster Sr. been in this one? In the back is the answer, because it's been the Lando, Dusty Miles, Xavier show. And it's Mad Mike on the inside. Lando spinning out. Lando correcting, getting hit by Craigster Sr. Oh my gosh, folks, that was an ugly one. It's Xavier in the back. Folks, Xavier is our 2nd place qualifier, and he is not doing so hot. 4 points for the first race, 4 points for the second, and only 1 point in that final race, in that 3rd race. Julius slides in the pole position, Craigster Sr. behind him, and Xavier trying to make the move on the inside of Craigster Sr. Now Mad Mike trying to move on Xavier. Lando pushing his way through the pack. He's on the inside. Julius is backwards up front. Craigster Sr. makes the pass on the outside. Meanwhile, Lando is trying to make the move on the inside of Xavier. Xavier slides sideways. Julius is sideways. Everyone's sideways. It's Craigster Sr., Julius, Xavier, I think Lando. Yep, Lando, and then Mad Mike, and then Dusty Miles, folks. We head into race number 5 of 6 here in the finals. And folks, the scores are still tight. There's been a lot of close racing here in the finals. Craigster Sr. in the Cadillac, getting followed by Xavier in the Cadillac. Dusty Miles in the Bentley. Xavier spins it back around. Dusty Miles slides on the inside of Xavier, pushes his way through, hits that front left tire, and gets a little boost there by Julius. But then Dusty Miles spins it back around, and Xavier is about ready to take that position back. It's Craigster Sr., Xavier, Dusty Miles. Xavier does take that position back. What a move there by Xavier, spinning Dusty Miles around and taking
Lando and
second place
Craigster
back. Sr. out front, tied for 20. Mad Mike and Xavier right behind, but Xavier is in that pole position. Dusty Miles is a little bit behind, but he still has a chance if he can make some moves here in the last race. It's Xavier out in front, Dusty Miles right behind. Then there's Lando and Craigster Sr. who are tied for first place. Those two are the ones to keep an eye on to win this thing. They're putting the pressure on Dusty Miles, so they're able to get by. It's Xavier in first place, Dusty Miles, Lando, Craigster Sr., Julius, and Mad Mike coming across the finish line. And folks, it looks like we have a tie for first place and a tie for 4th place. We're going to keep you waiting to see who wins this tournament. We're going to have the tiebreaker between Dusty Miles and Mad Mike. And because Dusty Miles got the first place qualifying, he will take the inside. we based that inside lane advantage on who was the fastest qualifier here at the Big O. And you can see out there when there's no cars in Dusty Miles' way, he is an absolute rocket out there, putting gaps and gaps in cars on Mad Mike. They rotate positions. This is a best of 3. If you win 2, you will be crowned, well, in this case, to be crowned 4th place and 5th place. But Dusty Miles on the outside is able to get by Mad Mike. That is an epic move from the outside by Dusty Miles. He is looking good out there and looking fast, and looks like as long as he doesn't blow it, he will take 4th place in this tournament. And then, the moment you've all been waiting for, the tiebreaker for the 1st place here in the GT tournament. Xavier had a faster qualifying time, so he will take the inside. But Lando's got some ground to make up. He's going to be putting in the work from the outside lane, hoping Xavier screws up somewhere, gets loose in a turn, spins out in a straightaway, does something, but Xavier is looking absolutely flawless out there, bounces off the inside, takes the high bank in the last turn, and down across the finish line. I don't even know where Lando is. There he is. There he was. They will rotate again, and Lando will take the inside. Xavier on the outside. Xavier pulls a car length ahead of Lando before the even start stop line. They go green, and Xavier is out front in front of Lando. Lando takes a right-hand turn into the berm, spins around, and basically hands this tournament over to Xavier. From Diecast Show Customs, folks, Xavier from Diecast Show Customs takes 1st place in the GT tournament. Lando from Arlo Racing moves into the 2nd place, and congratulations to everybody in this wonderful, beautiful GT tournament. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for sending your cars in. And don't forget that if you want to see more of Tiny Track Cars Epic Diecast Racing, just click that little square right in the middle of your screen that pops up at the end of your video and go watch some more racing. We'll see you in the next one. Bye now.